What is up guys, and welcome to my latest long form video here on SP Vids. Today I wanted to talk about some features which I'd still like to see introduced to this device in 2025. I have done videos previously around this topic, but I still think there are certain things that I'd really like to see. I've decided to select 5 in total for this video. There are probably more that I can think of, but just to keep the video around about 10 minutes, 5 seems to be a pretty good number. So please make sure you leave your comments about this as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts on things that you think could be introduced to the SP404-MK2 even now in 2025. I'll look forward to reading those. And just before I get into this one guys, don't forget about all the links in the description that really help support what I'm doing here with these videos. I sell drum packs on spvids.com. That's the main way I'm funded here, and then there's loads of other ways in the description that you can help fund me, so if you could check those links out, I would really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get into the first one, resampling to the same pad. I would love to see this feature introduced. I think it would really help my workflow and really speed it up. And this is a great example that I've got here of how this could be really useful. So I've chopped a phrase from a song and it's ended up taking 16 pads, but maybe I would like to resample, say chop 1. Maybe I'd like to add on lo-fi, bring that tone down a bit. You can see that I've done there, -74. And I'd like to resample that and put it directly back on pad 1, but I can't currently do that. So what I'd have to do is resample it to probably another bank, and then when I'm happy with it, exchange it or delete that one and then bring the other one back in. So it'd be really great if we could just skip all that annoying admin in between and just say resample and go right back to the same pad. I would love to see that feature. Okay, this is one that came up in the comments recently and it really infuriates me as well. I think there should be an option to mute samples when you're browsing in the sample browsing area on your SD card. So if we go into Shift and Import 14, import from SD card, it's going to take a little while because this is the first load. Samples, let's go into my latest drum pack, Lo-Fi Drums Volume 6. So if I go into a hats, for example here, they're automatically playing. We can also use Subpad to listen to those as well. But it's not always that useful to be able to hear these. So it would be really great if, say, in somewhere like Utilities, Shift and 13, we could go to System and maybe there's an option in here to say preview samples on scroll, yes or no. Really simple solution to that, and I think that would be really helpful. I know it annoys a few people. That certainly annoys me a little bit as well. I would like to just be able to hit Subpad to preview the sample that I want to hear in that area. I don't need to be able to hear it while I'm scrolling with the value wheel. Okay, this one's a little difficult to explain and it actually comes from Koala. So if you know the Koala app, a really powerful beat making app, this is one of the features in the pattern area which I really like, and I wish that the SP could do it as well. Now Roland have obviously done a collaboration with Koala, so maybe they could exchange some of the knowledge that they've got with each other. But basically what I'd like to see is, instead of having to wait for one pattern to finish and the next one to start, I'd love to be able to instantaneously switch between patterns, and where you left off the previous pattern, the next one would start there, if that makes sense. So a pattern might be playing along, and as soon as you hit another pattern button, it switches to that pattern but in the same position, so it's absolutely seamless. I think with the SP404-MK2, because you're constantly queuing patterns one after the other, so you play one and then the next one comes in automatically, you get kind of a robotic feel to your beats. When you can do what I'm explaining in Koala, it really adds kind of a dynamic feel to your beats, and you can swap between pauses and things like that very easily. So yeah, difficult one to explain, but if you know Koala well, you may well know this feature quite well. I would love to see it on the 404-MK2 because I do find transitions with the pattern area very rigid, and I think it would just really help to make things a lot more fluid and a lot more fun as well. Okay, I can't really do this video without saying this one, and I've probably said it in every video I've done on this topic, but we still want to really see sidechain compression, don't we? I think that's one of the biggest requested features, and we all kind of wanted it on 404 Day this year, but instead we got the integration with Serato, which a lot of us weren't really too fussed about, myself included. I don't think I'll really be using that too much. But yeah, sidechain compression, I mean, I'm amazed this wasn't in the box from day one. And the way I would see it working as an MFX is to have an MFX screen, and then you'd have the option to choose the kick or whatever sound it is, and then sidechain that against a mute group. So you'd be able to choose the mute group as well. So for example, I've got my mute groups here. So on that screen, you might have this, the same like this, actually very similar, where you could choose the mute group to target, or maybe you call it the target group, and that would be the same as your mute groups. And then on the same screen, you'd have the option to choose which sample you want to use. So say A13 would be my kick, and I want the target group to be mute group C. So I could see it working on the actual screen and everything really, really easily. There have been rumors that maybe the SP doesn't have the power to do it. I'm not sure myself. I'm not that technically minded, so I don't know. But I would really, really like to see that feature, obviously, and I know a lot of you guys would as well. I'm pretty sure it's possible. I just really hope that Roland listened to the community on that one. I mean, I don't understand why they haven't so far. It's just a feature that you just have to have on a beat-making device, I think. Even the P404 Mark II has had it in an update now. So yeah, I think that's also brought the attention back to it again for SP heads, and yeah, we just really need that feature, don't we? Okay, my last point is the ability to change this default screen. I find this pretty annoying, that it basically always shows this BPM that the device has kind of worked out. It's not really that useful, I don't think, and most of the time I don't even know how accurate it is. I don't even think it would be correct for, say, these sample chops. So I've got these sample chops. Whether they're 88 BPM or not, I have no idea. The machine's just kind of guessed that's what it is and put it on there. I think it would be really nice to have an option again in the utilities menu where you can do shift and utility, go to system, and then maybe it says default screen, and you would be able to choose from a few options. I think one really good option would be the waveform. So every time you hit a pad, like here now, we are in the waveform and you can do it now. But it gets a bit messy because then we have to come out of it to do other things and things like that. So I think, yeah, an option where you can just select a different screen instead of the BPM would be very useful. Or, I mean, maybe Roland could update it so that it included the waveform and the default BPM as well. I don't think that would be too hard to fit on the screen here as well. Maybe on the default screen, some of these things could be taken off, like the start and end point. We don't necessarily need those in the default area. And one of these values at the top could just say BPM. Something like that would make the workflow a little bit nicer, I think. And yeah, this big number on the default screen, I know it's kind of iconic of the SP404 series, but most of the time when I'm making beats or in the midst of making a beat, that particular screen is pretty useless. So yeah, that would be great to see that as well. I think that would be another really good update. So there we go, guys. There's 5 things which I think I'd still really like to see introduced to the SP404 Mark II in 2025. I apologize if there's been some popping on my microphone in this video. I'm not sure what's happening with my recording, but I can hear popping while I'm talking. So yeah, apologies if that was happening. I hope it wasn't too distracting. Don't forget to leave your comments below. What would you still like to see? What realistic options could we still fit into this device without making it too difficult to use? Get in the comments and let me know. And I will be back with another video very, very soon.